We need a Prime Minister who can get a grip, who's got a new team around him or her, a new sense of purpose, and actually can lead our nation. I think sadly at the moment that is not going to be the Prime Minister.
Joining us now is Bob Seely. Bob is the Conservative MP for the Isle of Wight. He joins us now. Bob, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to your listeners.
Thank you very much for joining us, Bob. Where are you at right now in terms of the Prime Minister?
I mean, sadly, I have put in a letter, and sadly, I've written to Sir Graham Brady. I wish I wasn't. I wish we weren't in this point, but I think that Boris is just becoming a distraction now. People have ethical concerns, which I completely understand. I mean, look, it's up to the Privileges Committee to come up with an opinion on that. But I just think we've had just too many question marks over the Downing Street operation, too many question marks, sadly, over the Prime Minister. And, we live in interesting times. Internationally, there's a lot going on. Domestically, inflation, cost of living. We need a Prime Minister who can get a grip, who's got a new team around him or her, a new sense of purpose, and actually can lead our nation. And I think, sadly, at the moment, that is not going to be the Prime Minister.
And Bob, when you made this decision to hand in a letter to Sir Graham, what were the key events that really motivated you to do this? Was it one particular event, or was it a kind of build up of events?
I mean, just in general, this is one of the least attractive bits of politics for me. I did not come into politics to sort of be part of some endless gossip rumour mill about who was leading, were they up, were they down, what Lenin said, Kotoko, who's doing what to whom. I find it completely boring and utterly horrible. And actually, I want my role to be delivering for my folks on the Isle of Wight, which is where I'm at the moment, because we've got the Commonwealth baton turning up today. And I want to do useful things nationally, whether it's talking about Ukraine or about planning or rail, etc. Stuff I know a little bit about or have sort of picked up over the years. I think for me, it's just the fact that this won't go away. I did actually vote for Boris a month ago. I sort of gave him a final version of the. I gave him the. What's the word I'm looking for?
Do you give him the benefit of the doubt?
So, thank you. I gave him the benefit of that one final time. And for sure, I reminded him, I said, you promised the Isle of Wight a deal. Are you going to deliver? He said yes. And so we're talking now about more money for the Isle of Wight, which is promised anyway, years ago, and we've never had on the island. So I thought, OK, I will give him one more chance. And unfortunately, then the Chris Pincher scandal then suddenly happens. And I just think it's too much. And I'm afraid to say, I think Chris is the straw that's broken the camel's back in this case.
And look, so, we've just, Bob, got so many messages flying in thick and fast. Yep. People are absolutely gripped by this. One question that has come up.
I mean, in many ways, I wish they weren't, because do you know what everyone should be gripped by? The cost of living crisis is hurting every single one of your listeners. The Ukraine war threatens the security of everybody in Europe. These are massive issues. And what is really gripping me and frustrating me is that the bandwidth, when it comes to talk about the environment or, getting a new designation for the Isle of Wight in landscape protection or stuff to do with Ukraine, we're just not discussing that. And that's what is infuriating me, because those are the things that are actually going to make a difference to my folks here or to all the people listening to you. And that's why I find this endless debate about the Prime Minister hugely frustrating. But it's come to the point that actually we can't deliver on anything else.
Well, absolutely. And we can hear the frustration in your voice. And, believe you me, many of our listeners sort of share your frustration. But the question that has come up a number of times from a number of different listeners is, do you think that you and your colleagues were naive to give Boris Johnson the benefit of the doubt? Because there were signs there. There were repeat patterns of behaviour from Owen Paterson and Partygate and things like that. Many people are messaging and saying, you guys are the best of us. You are bright, you're clever, you're a brilliant person to get elected as an MP. Do you think you've all been a bit naive?
I think trusting. Let's put it like this, trusting. And let's go back a couple of years. Let's go back. I mean, Theresa May I had a lot of respect for, but the mess that the political classes had collectively got ourselves into on Brexit was actually threatening us. We had the worst result in our history in the European elections, and Boris turned that round and delivered an 80-seat majority. So we owed him. And through bad times and good, you should stick with people. And that's why, again, I gave him the benefit of the doubt last time, because although he'd had a bad run and he got some things wrong, look, nobody's perfect. I gave him that benefit of the doubt. But, you're right. I mean, those of your listeners who are saying, well, we told you so, we told you it was a bad one. Okay, fine. He got us through Brexit. He got us that majority, and I respect that hugely. But I just think we've had, what is it now, 2.5, 3 years of just run of sort of issue after issue. And I think it's just distracting us. And I think actually people are now, your listeners, everyone out there, they're no longer listening to us. And until we have a new leadership, a new team, and a new sense of purpose, then people will start listening to us again, I hope. But we need that change now. And I wish I wasn't saying this, really, but I think that's the reality.
Well, listen, Bob, we're really grateful for your time. I know it's a difficult, it's a really difficult day for lots of people, but thanks very much for your time.